Baba Yaga is a famous witch of East European folklore that just might have been real. Seen as both a source of terror and of wisdom and assistance to those brave enough to seek her out, this legendary old witch is thought to live deep in the forest in a hut that stands on chicken legs. As if this poultry-inspired abode wasn't creepy enough, this hut is surrounded by a fence made of human bones and skulls. The remains, apparently, of former uninvited guests. And if you decide to brave a visit to Baba Yaga's hut yourself, you won't find her any less strange and horrific. Her appearance is grotesque, a bony, crooked woman with iron teeth and a hunger for human flesh, particularly the young and fresh. She is often portrayed as flying through the air in a mortar, steering with a pestle, and sweeping away her tracks with a broom. Yet, despite this fearsome image, Baba Yaga is far from just a monstrous figure in the woods meant to scare kids into being good. She's a complex character. Let's deep dive into her story and why exactly she may have been a real witch. The name Baba Yaga first appeared in recorded history in 1755, listed among Russian folklore characters. By 1780, the author Vasily Levshin offered a dark origin story for Baba Yaga. He said the devil cooked 12 wicked women in a cauldron to capture the essence of evil, and the result was Baba Yaga. Okay, could have happened, I guess, but whether this is true or not, it is just an example of how Baba Yaga is seen. Generally, Baba Yaga's domain is not just a place of terror, however, but also, surprisingly, of profound wisdom and transformation. Although she is mostly portrayed as fearsome and a malevolent witch, she can also play the role of a helper and wise woman. In some tales, she aids heroes or heroines who approach her with respect and pure intentions. These characters often seek out Baba Yaga for her knowledge, braving the dangers of her domain in pursuit of truth, wisdom, and magical assistance. In fact, when you look into her warty face a little closer, Baba Yaga in her guise as the wise crone actually embodies the dual nature of the archetypal Earth Mother. Wild and untamed, yet also capable of kindness and guidance. She is said to be the guardian of the legendary and quite magical so-called waters of life and death, which grant her control over the cycles of life, death, and rebirth. As the arch crone and bone mother, she represents the natural forces that bring about the death of the old self, leading to transformation and renewal. But is all this just a fairy tale? Well, as it turns out, no it isn't. This is because Baba Yaga, as a figure, is much older than the fairy tales. In 1782, the folklore scholar Mikhail Churkov noted striking similarities between Baba Yaga and an underworld goddess venerated by the Slavs back into the mists of time. This goddess, known as Iagaya Baba, was very similar to her, a terrifying old crone with an iron mortar and pestle, imagery that directly mirrors that of Baba Yaga. The Slavs made animal sacrifices to her, believing that she fed this blood to her two granddaughters, and believing that she delighted in the shedding of blood. Shulkov's mention of these granddaughters reflects another similarity, in fact, between her and Baba Yaga, as they were both said to have two daughters or sisters. These connections suggest that Baba Yaga may have originally been venerated as a powerful Earth Mother or Death Goddess before being transformed into the witch we all know from folklore. This makes her a much deeper figure than a mere fairy tale character. After all, no one ever made blood sacrifices to Humpty Dumpty, now did they? And there's good reason for that, because no one thinks the fairy tale Humpty Dumpty is actually real. You don't sacrifice your best ox, in fact, do you, for something you don't think is real. This connection proves, at the very least, that the ancient Slavs of Eastern Europe did consider her real, And if some of us choose to view nature spirits as real on some level, and that some of these nature spirits may have been worshipped as gods for whatever reason, then this adds an intriguing element to the Baba Yaga legend. That is, that she may not have been a mere figment of someone's imagination. She may still be out there, in fact, on some level, in some dimension of existence. Baba Yaga has fascinated generations with her dual nature, and this is perhaps best illustrated in the famous Russian folktale, The Death of Koschei the Deathless. In this story, the hero, Ivan Tsarevich, must seek out Baba Yaga to obtain the knowledge he needs to defeat the immortal villain, Koschei, who is something similar to a lich lord, which you would find maybe in modern fantasy fiction. Baba Yaga, however, true to her complex nature, does not initially make things easy for the hero. No, he must approach her with the requisite courage and humility and pass tests to prove the same, and only then does she provide him with the magical horse he needs to reach Koschei's domain. This tale highlights Baba Yaga's role as both a fearsome obstacle and a wise guide, testing the hero's resolve before granting him the tools he needs to succeed and develop his own character. Another well-known story which features Baba Yaga is Vasilisa the Beautiful. In this tale, the young heroine Vasilisa is sent by her wicked stepmother to Baba Yaga's hut to fetch a kind of magical light, hoping secretly, since she was a wicked stepmother after all, that Baba Yaga would actually get rid of the poor girl. However, Vasilisa, with the help of a magical doll given to her by her deceased mother, approaches Baba Yaga with respect and completes the impossible tasks the witch gives to her. In the end, Baba Yaga grants Vasilisa the light she sought, a skull with burning eyes that later destroys her cruel stepmother and stepsisters. Here, Baba Yaga serves as both a terrifying force and a catalyst for Vasilisa's eventual triumph over her adversaries. Baba Yaga's stories remind us that she is a figure of great power and complexity. She embodies the wild, untamed, and often cruel aspects of nature. Yet, she also serves as a guardian of wisdom and a guide to those who seek knowledge, who wish to advance themselves. Baba Yaga is a potent symbol of life's cyclical nature, bringing death, but also the possibility of rebirth and transformation. Through her, we see that even the most fearsome forces in the world can offer guidance and wisdom to those who dare to seek them out. So, by all means, my friends, seek her out in those deep, dark, legendary woods, if you have a mind to, in search of a little guidance, maybe, or just a little adrenaline. Just so long as you don't mind the possibility that you may just catch her on a bad day, when her latest magic potion recipe didn't quite come out as intended, or maybe when her mortar and pestle just happened to be on the fritz. And to top it off, she hasn't had time to stock her pantry with any fresh meat for quite a little while, leaving her with just a little bit of a rumbly tummy. You just might end up as one of her latest lawn ornaments in front of that creepy, chicken-legged house of hers. Well, that just about wraps up tonight's tale from Lorehound. Join us as we sniff out more of history's most interesting stories.
As the hound dog entered the dimly lit library, he sensed an aura of mystery surrounding the ancient scrolls. The dusty shelves towered above him as he sniffed his way through the labyrinth of books. Suddenly, he picked up a scent and followed it to a secluded corner.